It starts with flashing lights. Red. Blue. A reflection in the rearview mirror. Most people see those lights and think ticket, warning, 5 minutes of inconvenience. But for some Americans, far too many, those lights mark the final moments of their lives. Tonight, we're talking about traffic stops. Not the routine ones. The ones that begin with a single word. Suspicious doesn't mean illegal. It doesn't mean a crime was committed. Before we dive into the main story, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell notification button for more interesting video like this. It means an officer felt something. A hunch. A gut feeling. An interpretation. And history shows us that when suspicion meets fear, exhaustion, or bias, the consequences can be fatal. July 6, 2016. Falcon Heights, Minnesota. Philando Castile is driving home from dinner with his girlfriend and her 4-year-old daughter in the back seat. He hasn't been speeding. His taillights work. He's done nothing wrong. The officer later says Castile resembled a robbery suspect. Suspicious. When asked for his license, Castile calmly explains, that he has a legally owned firearm and a permit to carry. Seconds later, gunshots. 7 of them. Philando Castile dies in his car while his girlfriend live streams the aftermath to the world. The officer says he feared for his life. A jury later acquits him. But the question remains. How did a routine stop become an execution in under 60 seconds? Over and over again, fatal traffic stops follow the same pattern. An ambiguous reason for the stop. Escalating commands. Fear on both sides. A sudden movement. And then, violence. In 2015, Sandra Bland was pulled over in Waller County, Texas for failing to signal a lane change. The stop quickly turned confrontational. She was arrested. 3 days later, she was found dead in a jail cell. Official ruling, suicide. Public response, disbelief. Her name became a symbol, not just of what happened, but of how easily things spiral once a stop turns hostile. One of the most disturbing elements in these encounters is how quickly tone becomes destiny. A question becomes an argument. An argument becomes resistance. Resistance becomes force. In 2015, Walter Scott was pulled over in North Charleston, South Carolina for a broken brake light. The interaction escalated. Scott ran. Officer Michael Slager fired 8 shots into his back. If not for a bystander's cell phone video, the official story may have gone unchallenged. Without video, many of these cases are closed quietly, filed away under justified. Fast forward to January 2023. Memphis, Tennessee. Tyre Nichols is stopped for alleged reckless driving, a claim police later failed to substantiate. What follows is brutal. Nichols is pepper sprayed, tossed, beaten, and left calling for his mother. He dies 3 days later. This time, body camera footage is released. The nation watches. Officers are charged. And suddenly, the system does what it often doesn't, it listens. But here's the terrifying truth. How many cases never had footage? Police training emphasizes survival. Civilian instinct emphasizes obedience. But fear warps communication. A driver reaching for registration is seen as a threat. A trembling voice is interpreted as guilt. Compliance is mistaken for defiance. And once fear takes over, there's no rewind button. Data shows certain communities are stopped more frequently, searched more often, and escalated against faster, even when no contraband is found. Suspicion isn't evenly distributed. And once you're labeled suspicious, every movement becomes dangerous. The flashing lights fade. But families are left with questions that never get answered. Why was my loved one stopped? Why did it escalate? Why did no one de-escalate? Official reports use the same language every time. Officer feared for his life. Suspect failed to comply. Use of force justified. But body cams, when they exist, sometimes reveal confusion, panic, and missed chances to slow things down. Most people who die in traffic stops never knew they were in danger. They followed the rules. They answered questions. They believed cooperation meant safety. They didn't know that suspicious has no clear definition, but deadly consequences. If a traffic stop can turn fatal in seconds. If suspicion requires no evidence. And if accountability often depends on whether someone happened to be recording. Then ask yourself this. The next time you see flashing lights in your mirror. How safe are you, really? Pause. Because the most dangerous part of these stories is that the next one hasn't happened yet. Want more stories like this? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our story, because this is just getting started.